Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, the Urban Sewing Society. My name is Jen, and today I am going to take you through the process of taking a man's shirt and refashioning it into a woman's top. So I found this oversized shirt. Well, it was a regular size men's shirt. Didn't fit me quite well, and I turned it into this really cute summer top with a ruched waistline. And it was really simple, really quick, and I want to take you through the process. So let's get started. So I laid the shirt out flat on the floor, and the first thing you want to do is remove the sleeves. I cut just on the outside of the seam, and then I removed the front pocket with my seam ripper. And then next, I wanted to cut that collar and all of that off the top because this wasn't going to be a regular kind of summer top. So I drew a straight line just about 3 or 4 inches above the underarm, straight across, because we're going to use the sleeves later, and since I wanted to make them a little puffy, I don't need all that extra from the top. And you're going to fold down that upper edge and the back edge, and that's going to create a casing for elastic, and that's how you're going to keep it up. We're also going to run a stitch right down the front of the shirt next to the buttons, because we want to keep that front closed. In order to put the elastic around the center of the shirt, you're going to have to draw straight lines across and make sure that those are even. I would say the best thing is to use a yardstick, but I'm using a ruler here. If you've got a yardstick, that's even better. And use one of those washable ink pens so that you'll have the lines, and when you wash your shirt, the lines will go away. So I did the lines on the inside and on the outside, so that'll make it much easier when I get ready to sew. Now you're ready to attach the elastic. So I used this 1/8 inch elastic, and I measured it around my waist to make sure that it wasn't going to be too tight or too loose. And I cut 4 pieces because I was going to have 4 different layers of elastic. And I started in the middle, and I pinned it at 4 different locations. Once in the middle, back, in the front, and on the sides. And as you can see, it's starting to pull together, but I stretch it out, and I put a pin maybe about every 5 or 6 inches to just hold it in place. So I'm going to speed this up so that you can see it moves rather quickly, but make sure you're doing this on a flat surface so that you can get it all lined up just great. And I stretch it out, put my thumb in the middle, and just pin it all the way across. And I did that 4 times, well actually 5 times. And now I'm ready to sew that down. So I stretched it out just so you could see it a little better. This allows you to move the elastic around if you need to, if it's too tight in some areas. And now I go to my sewing machine, and I just sew right on top of the elastic, and I use a zigzag stitch. This really helps. The zigzag stitch doesn't have as much tension as a regular straight stitch, and so it goes more comfortably with the elastic and the fabric, so you don't have any pulling or any gapping. And I did the zigzag stitch all the way across, pulling it straight. I had to make some adjustments on my machine, and stitch all the way across, pulling out the pins before I get to them. That's really, really important. Do not sew over those pins, because if they break inside of the machine, they could pop up into your eye, and you don't I'm working on the sleeve. So I took the top part of the sleeve and folded it down about 1/4 of an inch and sewed around to create a casing in the top of the sleeve. And it was just enough to feed the elastic through. So I cut a piece of elastic and pushed it through the casing on the sleeve to make it a little puffy. And then I put right sides together under the arm, matching up the side seams, and pinned that together. Pinned it just enough to get it in there and be comfortable. I did have to try this on a couple times just to make sure that the elastic wasn't too tight or too loose and that it held up on my arm. So here I'm stitching the other sleeve, making a casing, feeding the elastic through, clipping it, stitching it to the side under the arm. And after I did this, I tried it on just to make sure that it was going to be right. And then I'm also stitching down the front part of the shirt. Remember we talked about that earlier, because I don't want that gapping open. Because you have elastic in there, it's pulling. And so here we go. This is the finished product. And this was my little TikTok video. So I thought it turned out really, really cute. And I'll probably make another one soon, but hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.